What's up, Knife Tube? It's Diamond Cut Steel, and you guys are going to learn something today. Here we have one of the little Spidey boxes. I'm sure you guys are familiar with this. And one of the most slept on smaller knives ever, in my opinion. And it would be the, can you guess? Give you a little peek. Can you guess? Can you guess? Any idea? The Cat. The Cat and the Chicago are two of the most slept on knives that you can buy. Right here, you have a 2.5-inch blade, so it's legal in a lot of places. You have about 2 inches of cutting edge and a nice 5th pocket size knife. But you have very stout construction. You got full steel liners, nice G10. So even though it's a small knife, it's built like a tank. It's about 2.7 ounces. You got a nice liner lock. Absolutely rock solid blade play, or absolutely rock solid blade. No up and down play, of course. No side to side play. It's on phosphor bronze. It's nice and snappy action wise. And what's so impressive about this knife is that it's 5th pocket size knife, but yet it will pretty much handle anything that you're going to run into for daily cutting needs. That's what I like about it so much, is that it's small, yet it's extremely capable. It's in CTS Carpenter's BD1N. This is actually a really good performing steel. A lot of people kind of look poorly at it because they'll compare it to BD1, when in fact BD1N is a much higher performing steel than BD1. This is a Taiwan made knife, not Taichung, Taiwan. It's not their premium manufacturing, but it is a Taiwan made knife. You're going to get fit and finish levels basically like that of like your cold steel Taiwan made stuff. Like I said, you know, not Taichung levels of fit and finish, but still very good. Considering this is a $70 knife, fit and finish is absolutely adequate. You have nice snappy action. And excellent cutting geometry. With a nice thin blade, nice thin stock. Comes down nice and fine at the tip, but not so fine that the tip will be fragile. This thing is a cardboard cutting monster. And just an overall highly capable small knife. I think you should take a peek at the Cat if you're looking for a really badass 5th pocket knife, something that's very capable, yet, you know, fits in the 5th pocket, or for legal reasons, 2.5-inch blade. The Cat is an excellent knife. You really aren't going to run into, or 99% of people aren't anyhow, going to run into situations for your EDC type cutting task that this knife won't efficiently handle. You know, this knife will handle the vast majority of your EDC type cutting needs, no problem whatsoever. It is a very stout built little dude, I'll give it that. You know, when in hand, you can tell that this is a nice stout knife. There's nothing fragile feeling about it. It's like a supercharged Dragonfly 2. That would be a good way to explain it. Think of, a Dragonfly blade shape and, a very, very high quality, stout built handle. Feel wise, this feels much like a native 5G10 models do. They got that nice chunky stout feeling. That's exactly how this knife feels. And I really think you should check one out if you're looking for a small knife. The Cat, it's awesome, and it's slept on, and it shouldn't be. This is a highly capable EDC cutting tool. And again, BD1N is a quite high performing steel. A lot of people, they'll overlook it. They'll say, "Oh yeah, I've heard BD1 is compared to like 8CR. Why would I pay that much for a BD1N?" It's because they're very, very different steels. BD1N, in my testing and in my use case, performs very much like S30V. Maybe not. I would say it performs very close to S30V in every aspect except for how it holds aggression. S30V will hold its aggression longer, but overall edge retention from the BD1N is much like S30V. It definitely performs very good. It's also a steel that does really good polished. It does good with mid grits, and it does good with lower coarse grits. Whatever type edge finish you want on it, if you're cutting fibrous stuff, you're running a nice toothy edge, it does great. If you're doing a lot of push cutting and you want to put a polish on it, it does great. And that's what I like about BD1N so much, is that it's just a steel that does good with pretty much any edge finish, and it strops back very, very nicely. It also sharpens very nicely. This is a very good sharpening stainless steel. I think it responds better to the stones than MagnaCut does. Well done, MagnaCut. It doesn't matter if you're using diamond, CBN, silicone carbide, alumina, it doesn't matter. Any abrasive will cut it and do so efficiently. This stuff really likes edges off of your typical water stones. So if you have traditional stones, you'll really like this stuff. Also, if you're using like natural stones, like Arkansas stones, J-Nats, etc., you're going to really enjoy this steel on them. So check out the Cat. I'll put a link in the description. It's an awesome knife, and you guys have a good night.